What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. I'm excited to teach you some worship techniques that'll take your playing to the next level and just make playing a lot more fun. So today the concept we're going to be covering, it's around intervals. Let me give you a taste of what it sounds like, explain a quick crash course of what intervals is, and then actually break it down and teach it to you. So let's dive in. So when you take any simple song, let's just take one. I'm going to pick random top worship songs, but What a Beautiful Name. That's one where I've played it 100 times in church, and eventually it's a great song, but you long for something new to play. So you're probably used to playing the chords like... You get where I'm going. Those are great. What I want to show you is how intervals could sound, and there's a million different ways we can break it down, but let's just start with one that sounds like this. Alright, so first a quick crash course on an interval. When you think of ending on a G chord, it's a series of notes, and for simplicity, it's a 1, 3, and a 5. All that means is in a G chord, there's G scale. When you think of a piano, there's 8 notes. Really, there's 7 because the first and the 8th are the same. Just on any chord that's a major chord, just taking the first, the third note of that scale, and the 5th note. And that's why in this chord, these open chords, they're awesome. They're great when it's just you around a campfire and you need to really fill it up, because there's so many of those. You're just duplicating the same notes over and over and over. Same with a bar chord. But when you're playing with a keyboardist or an acoustic guitar player or a piano player, you don't need to hit all those notes. Oftentimes, you can add a lot more color to the song when you only hit 2 of those notes. To end this little crash course part, just to think of, if this is your root note again on that G, you've got the third, you got it there, you got it there. There's all kinds of different ways you can do this. And you got the 5th. There's just various ways that you can do it. And when you play it, it can add color to the song. I can't say that enough. Whether it's country, pop, praise and worship, intervals and the way that you can add effects to them are buried inside of every single track that you hear and played live. And that's what I call ear candy. It's what makes the song different. Most songs are playing the same 4 chords, just a different key. This is what makes it different. It's the color you add through this. So let's break down how I did it. You don't need to know all the chord shapes either. If you don't know them all, it's just, this is that D, the A, and the B. They just come from. Those are the chords. And then when I ended on that G, it's just a G chord. There's one here, there's one there. They're all over the neck. I have to say too, if you don't know the cage system, that was a massive game changer for me. I probably played over 20 years before I learned the cage system. I could shred up and down the neck, but I couldn't just, someone said play every A chord there is. I fumbled and I didn't get it. And that's where you can take a simple chord. Again, there's a time and a place for the campfire chord. Then there's a time and a place for another version of it that's just much more melodic, gives you a lot more variation, gives you a lot more ideas. So check that out. I've got a video on it if you don't know it, just because it'll open up doors. It's like knowing the ABCs but pulling out a few vowels. If you can't connect things, it helps immensely. So let's dive back into this. Again, what I'm doing is I'm just keeping these bass notes, and then the melody line I'm creating with the interval, it ascends, if you'll notice. So it draws the listener in. When I hit it, notice how it ascends. It just keeps going up. Then you can go back down and go back up even further. Keep going up. Notice how this keeps going up. Whether I'm here Doesn't matter if the bass note is low. Watch, I'll go back. I'm hitting low bass notes, but the ear is following the high note, which is just really cool. You could do the same concept doing something like just the basic chords. Now, instead of playing the full chord or walking up the neck, if you only know these chords, you could do the same concept. Watch. Now you can walk up. So again, practice it both ways. Practice it in the chords that you're familiar with, but then go in and venture into other chord shapes and just keep on climbing, and it'll give you a lot of ideas. What's really fun is where we go from here, because then, like we'll talk about in a couple of the next sessions that build on this, is how when you add different tones, you add different effects, and you add different strumming patterns rather than just playing it, it opens up the world. And that's where there's so much of that ear candy that I was talking about that's buried in the tracks. And that's where you become a lot more versatile player, and truthfully you have a lot more fun. Again, if you're playing with a band, the rhythm guitar player, the acoustics, the piano, the keys, they've got a lot of that chord structure covered. So as an electric player, you really get the chance to have some fun and create melody lines that make the listening experience, the worship experience, so much better. If you like this one, you're going to love the next one, so make sure to check that out. Also, guys, drop me a like and subscribe. You'd be shocked at just how getting one of those motivates me to pick the guitar up and hit record for you. That's kind of why I'm doing this, but it means a ton to me. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Biggest thing is enjoy this. You know, enjoy your talent, enjoy your gift the Lord's given you. Rock the journey. Enjoy that journey, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.